Shalom, Kahalal, Yahal Bashim Yahushai, Bahashim Kwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of GMS, including the elders that came before them that taught us His truth. And shalom and salutation to all the brothers out pushing the word in truth and in sincerity, the hopeful elect tabernacle of David, to all the Akwat that are listening and learning, being a pillar of rest, the 144,000 and one-third, the hopeful elect of Israel, and the brother Yashawan. Back with the WW3 Daily Update. Shalom and salutations to you as well. We're going to start right here. Jeremiah 49 and 20, and identify who Amalek is. Therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord that he hath spoken against Edom. Who? Against Edom, the so-called white man, and his purposes that he hath purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Okay? You Edomites. Teman was a top city in ancient Edom. Surely the least of the flock, who is that? That's Amalek. The least of the flock of the Edomites is Amalek. Shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. So what does it mean that surely Amalek shall draw them out? Well, we're watching it happen. Israel took the bait by attacking in Lebanon. Hezbollah sent ultimatum with 60 rockets. This is 20 hours ago. I don't know. People post Scott Ritter's videos, and sometimes they go back 2 and 3 weeks. But this right here is fresh bait, fresh news, if you will. This is a fresh report, okay? Because, I mean, either this is clickbait, which it could be, or they're speaking on what just happened because they just attacked. Israel just attacked. Like, and when I say just, I mean in the last 3 days or whatever. And somebody said Hezbollah retreated or whatever. What they're doing is really Israel, right, is being drawn out. They're being drawn into this fray because they're being made to attack. And what are they doing attacking in Lebanon? Didn't you just attack in Gaza? And in a minute, you're going to have to attack in Yemen, right? And then in a minute, you're going to have to attack in Iran or in Persia. Guess what? You're surrounded. So this is ATM Gamer. They all these gaming channels put Scott Ritter up and take it down within hours. So let's see what this is saying. 20 hours ago. Take it away.
Of Hezbollah getting more seriously involved in this battle. Is that possible, in your opinion?
Oh, of course it's possible. It's even likely, given what Hezbollah has done is it has maintained a extraordinarily high levels of pressure on Israel along the border between Israel and Lebanon. The purpose of this was to force Israel to divert resources from Gaza to Lebanon, and to put strain, economic and political strain, on Israel at a time when it was supposed to be singularly focused on resolving the Gaza crisis. Up to 70,000 Israelis have been evacuated from northern Israel. They have to be housed, cared for at enormous economic cost to Israel. Whatever economic activity took place in the north has come to a halt. So that's an unsustainable reality that Israel can't just allow to occur. And Hezbollah keeps ratcheting up the pressure. Israel right now has confronted Benny Gantz, the Minister of War, has come out and said that Israel has no choice but to turn its attention to Lebanon to compel Hezbollah to withdraw from the border. This is suicidal. Lebanon is as prepared for whatever Israel is going to do as Hamas was prepared for Israel. And Hezbollah is an organization that has far more military capacity than Hamas. It will be fatal for Israel to expand this conflict. And I think that's why it might not happen is that the Israelis know that if they engage decisively with Hezbollah, they will suffer a decisive defeat. And that could be very problematic, not only for the Netanyahu government, but for anybody who's joined his coalition, his wartime coalition, like Benny Gantz and others. So it's a very dangerous situation, one where there is an absolute threat of an expansion of this conflict to draw in Hezbollah, but also one that the consequences of such expansion are so dire that it might be difficult for Israel to act on it, which is what Hezbollah is betting on, that Israel will make a decision to seek a ceasefire before they make a decision to escalate.
Not just Netanyahu, the United States has been front loaded to support Israel without question, regardless of the political leadership, for some time now. The last time we put the brakes on something like this was in 1990, 1991, during the Gulf War. The administration of George Herbert Walker Bush had famously stood up to the Israeli government and told them that there's not a blank check here. But later on, under Bill Clinton, and then later on George W. Bush, and then Barack Obama, Donald Trump, and now Biden, that's changed. And Israel basically was given literally a blank check. The Israeli lobby took over control of Washington, D.C. The Arab lobby was dispersed. And we now find this situation where we're front loaded to give Israel anything they want. But I will tell you this. First of all, both Israel and the United States know that there can't be a war between Israel and Iran unless the United States is involved. We know that because we participated in joint exercises with Israel, Chariots of Fire last year, Firm Hand this year, where the various scenarios were tested out, and Israel lacks the capacity to attack Iran on a sustained basis without American assistance. And they need America to take over that conflict because they can't do it on their own. They literally can't do it on their own. And the problem is that they can initiate a strike against Iran, but then Iran will destroy all of Israel with precision-guided ballistic missiles. Not just Iran. There's a member of the Israeli cabinet, female member of parliament. She's a Likud party member. She has resigned against Netanyahu. And today she's saying that he has ruined Israel. And he has. She understands the truth. She knows the truth. That Hezbollah is sitting on thousands of precision-guided munitions. Precision-guided munitions meaning that they will strike a target within 3 meters of its intended, point of detonation. That means it's going through a window. And that these weapons are such that the Israelis can't intercept them. So if they're fired, they will hit what they're aimed at. And that will destroy Israel. She knows it. Netanyahu knows it. That's why he wants America involved. The only way he can defeat Hezbollah and Iran is if America takes the lead. That's the last thing the United States wants to do, however. We don't have the military capacity to defeat Iran. And the consequences of a long war with Iran will be devastating for the global economy because the oil production capacity of the Middle East will be terminated, some of it permanently so. We know this. Joe Biden, he wants to be president again. So he's not going to commit economic suicide by blindly supporting Israel.
The reason Joe Biden wants to be president again is the same reason that Bibi Netanyahu can't let the war end. Because they'll be prosecuted for all sorts of shit, including war crimes. Okay? And they're waiting. The moment they're out of office, those people are going to face a trial of some sort, right? Nuremberg. Anyway.
Netanyahu is finished. He's done. I just advise everybody, every time
he's about to say the same thing. I've never seen this before. He's about to reiterate what I just said.
Who speaks, ignore it. And I'll tell you why. Because when this war ends, and it will end, Netanyahu will not be prime minister of Israel. He's a hated man, a reviled man. And he's recognized not only by the United States, but now increasingly so inside Israel, as the number one problem for Israel. It's not Hamas, it's Netanyahu.
So this is why we're fighting these wars, because when you start at the very top, which is the Most High, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua is putting the spirit on these devils these extreme devils to go out and do the most devilish shit, that they're about to sacrifice all their people so that they can stay in power, so they don't have to go to jail. You see how shit rolls downhill, right? Well, Most High's at the top, right? And he's like this: all you people are about to go to war. Okay, so what does it mean? Okay, we'll end this right here. We'll keep it short. This is really good stuff to watch if you're paying attention to the war. All right. Now, he just explained why Israel is doing the crazy shit that they're doing. And he started it with Netanyahu. Now, Netanyahu has people that are above him telling him what to do, but those people are in as much trouble as Bibi himself. Bibi's in trouble because he's doing the bidding of a faction that is just completely and purely demonic. And he's the face of it. Okay? Now, how does that, right? How does that come through the scriptures? Well, let's go here. Proverbs 21. Proverbs 21:1 tells you that the Most High is controlling the people that are controlling Bibi, the people that are going, Joe Biden isn't running anything. He's a puppet. Well, the puppet master, right, is the king. Whoever is controlling, whoever is Joe Biden's handler, right, all the way up the checkerboard floor, is the king. Even though we don't know who he is, we don't see him. You could say Jacob Rothschild. Didn't he die? One of the Rothschilds, okay? They're the kings, all right? Who's controlling the Rothschilds? Is there somebody above that? It might be the spiritual demon Satan, or it might be some man who is above the Rothschild, who is the king. Now, whoever that guy is, the Most High, right, is mind controlling him. How? Through the spiritual demon Satan. They say that at the top Rothschild meetings, there's an empty seat which the spiritual demon Satan manifests himself at the table, and then they start doing business. Okay? Well, that spiritual demon Satan is a representative of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. That's how he controls the mind. No, it says heart, Ak. It says heart, right? This is Proverbs 21:1 in the King James. The king's heart, a heart is a muscle that pumps blood, is in the hand of the Lord. See, we're going to get down to MK Ultra. If you understand what MK Ultra is, then you should understand what MK Supreme is. Okay? So let's get to MK Ultra or MK Supreme. This is the Good News translation, right? The Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, controls the mind. Excuse me? Did you just say mind control? Well, there's your MK. Leave the S out. Mind control. MK Ultra is MK, mind control. Ultra. Well, who would be MK Supreme? There he is. Not MK Ultra, MK Supreme. So whoever is controlling Bibi Netanyahu is being controlled by Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. If you got to report to the spiritual demon Satan, who does the spiritual demon Satan report to? Okay. Well, let's find out. Is it 1 and 5? Been so long since I've done this. Who does the spiritual demon Satan report to, lock his heels at the position of attention, and be told what he can and can't do? Okay. It's Job, right? Let's get Job. Salakia. It's been a while. Satan's first attack. See that? Who is Satan going to attack? He's going to attack Job. But why is he going to attack Job? Because the Most High commanded him to do so and gave him the power with which to do so, because Satan is controlled. The spiritual demon Satan is controlled by the Most High. He's not out of order. He's within order. And what we'll do is we'll be able to determine that with this first line in the body of Satan's first attack. This is Job 1 and 6. Now there was a day when the sons of the Most High, who are the angels, all of them, on the left and on the right hand side, came to do what? Present. Present. That's a commandment. It's a military command. The drill sergeant says, present. And then you lift your hand up in the presence of the chief, right? You present your arms. You present yourself. So who's in control here? So the angels came, right? The sons of God are the angels. They came to do what? To stand at the position of attention and present themselves as subjects to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. And who was right there on the left-hand side? Presenting himself. He's standing at the position of attention before he was told parade rest. That fool right there was in complete compliance, and he never goes up against the Most High. Right? Then they have a conversation, and then the Most High grants Satan the power. This is Job 1 and 12. And the Lord said unto Satan, behold, all that he hath is in thy power. The Most High gave him that power. Otherwise, Satan wasn't about to do anything that the Most High didn't tell him to do. He told him, don't touch him. Don't touch him. He didn't touch him. He went to go do what Satan does. It's his job to go tempt and sift. Okay, he tried to shake. They made a little deal, right? He said, what you think about my homeboy, Joe? He's tight, ain't he? And Satan said, that nigga will cuss you to your face if you take away his substance. And the Most High said, I'll take that bet. But here are the ramifications. Right? Can't go except for this far. So who's in command? Who's setting it up? Who's giving the orders? The Most High is. So when we go back here, where did we go? To Proverbs, right? Let's go back to Proverbs. When you got the wicked, when you got the Rothschilds, right? Who do they report to? They report to Satan, the spiritual demon Satan. Well, what does Satan have them do? The will of the Most High. Right? The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. How does he do that? Well, there's an order. There's an orderly arrangement. Okay? We showed you how they do it in Job. Okay? How it comes down. All right? And that's all we see. Right? Why is everybody meeting up in the Middle East? Right? What was this about? What is all this about? Israel, Lebanon, Hezbollah, this is all in the Middle East. Why? Because that's the plan. We went over that yesterday. We went over the plan of the ambush. Before you launch an attack. You go rehearse that thing. You go say, well, it's going to be right here at this old creek with the bridge. Well, you go construct an old bridge by a creek and you rehearse over and over how you're going to launch that attack. All right. Where were we going? Oh, let's do this real quick. Slovakia, I'm in this. This is Job. Slovakia, Joel 3. Why? Again, what's going on in the Middle East? This is what's going on in the Middle East. I says, the Lord judges the nations. It says, yes, in those days and at that time when who's I? I is the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. He's telling you what he's going to do. In those days, what days? These days. And at that time, what time? Right now, when he's given you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans your identity back. When I restored Judah and Jerusalem from captivity, what happened in captivity? Well, you lost everything. Your riches, your name, your identity was all taken away from you by who? The one who's going to restore it. He took it away. Now he's bringing it back. And what else is he going to do? He's going to gather all nations. All nations? Let's be more specific. I will gather the armies of the nations. Yeah? All nations, meaning what? And their armies too. Where? Into the Middle East. And this is what we're watching. So when you go to Revelation 19, and you find out who's been gathered, right? This is who's been gathered. See that word gathered together? Where did we just come from? Revelation 19 and 19, and I saw the beasts and the kings of the earth, there they are, and their armies, what? Gathered together to do what? Make war. Well, this is a different phase of that war. It turns celestial right there. Okay? But before it turned celestial, he had to get them in the strike zone, right? Well, how did he get them in the strike zone? He gathered them into the valley of Yehoshaphat. Who? I will gather the armies of the world. Well, it says the nations. Well, it is the nations and their armies. Okay? Into the Middle East. There will I judge them for harming my people, my special possession, for scattering my people among the nations, and for dividing them. He gave the reasons why he's about to pass that judgment on your ass. It's all there. Everything is in its place. All right? And we're just spelling it out and showing you which way it's going to go and why. All right? This is what's going on, pursuant to 20 hours ago. That's why we have the WW3 Daily Update, to continue to show you why and how these things are going to come about, and how, in short order, all the armies of the world are going to be destroyed with nothing left but dust and smell of smoke. And we could get into that, but that's a different video. Anyway, that's your update. Go back and watch Scott Ritter. I mean, it changes up, but look for the most recent one, and then determine whether it's old or whether it, is on point or not. And I mean, all of it is good. He's giving you reasons as to why things are happening. He's being very balanced and forthright about what's going on within his expertise, which is a military analyst. He's analyzing this shit. He's telling you what he understands and what he believes from the perspective of top brass, if you will. This dude was a weapons inspector, nuclear weapons inspector. Okay? So he knows what he's talking about. How is the world going to end? Well, it's his expertise, nuclear weapons. All right? The world as we know it. So with that, we hope that the elect edified you brothers and your sisters with that. This is Shalom.